Silverstein. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be asthmatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my spine is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbows bent, I cannot hear. There is a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is what? What's that? What's that, you say? You say that today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play.
Sick by Shel Silverstein. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. Don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be the asthmatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained, my appendix pains each time it rents. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbows bent, my spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. And my brain is shrunk. I cannot hear. There is a hole inside my ear. And I have a hangnail and my heart is what? What's that? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play.
The Generals by Shel Silverstein. Said General Clay to General Gore, oh, must we fight this silly war? To kill and die is such a bore. I quite agree, said General Gore. Said General Gore to General Clay, we could go to the beach today and pick up ice cream on the way. A grand idea, said General Clay. Said General Clay to General Gore, we'll build sandcastles on the shore. Said General Gore, we'll splash and play. Let's leave right now, said General Clay. Said General Gore to General Clay, but what if the sea's closed today and the sand's been blown away? A dreadful thought, said General Clay. Said General Gore to General Clay, I've always feared the ocean spray, and we may drown. It's true, we may. It chills my blood, said General Clay. Said General Clay to General Gore, my bathing suit slightly tore. We'd better go on with our war. I quite agree, said General Gore. Then General Clay charged at General Gore as bullets flew and cannons roared. And now, alas, there is no more of General Clay or General Gore.
Olympic Granny by Ken Nesbitt. When Grandma goes for gold in the Olympic Games this year, she'll laugh at her competitors and make them quake with fear. She's 99 years old, but in athletics she's been blessed. The only trouble is she can't decide what sport she plays the best. She's such an ace at archery, she's queen of the canoe. She's tough to top at taekwondo and table tennis too. She dominates the diving board, she trumps the trampoline. At lifting weights and wrestling, she's the best you've ever seen. She speeds across the swimming pool to slake the summer heat. On BMX and mountain bike, she simply can't be beat. She's the highest in the high jump and a champ at hammer throwing. Magnificent in marathons, remarkable at rowing. She beats the best at boxing. At the pole vault, she is peerless. Her fencing is the finest. She is positively fearless. She's masterful at basketball. She truly rules the court. and equally incredible at every other sport. But what we find astonishing and something of a shocker is how she wins all the contests with her wheelchair and her walker.
Thank you.
Goals by Zoriel Tappo. I have goals. And I'm not talking about basketball, although I still shoot for them. I'm talking about the kind of goals that would make me put away my Barbie, skip out to tea parties, and jump through the hoop. My goal? To have my report card filled with A's, to put me on track to pass the 4th grade. I'm a volleyball player. I've been doing great so far, but by this season in, I want to make it to the All-Star. I'm also an actress. I've landed in a few movies and shows, oftentimes in the background, not the principal role. That's the goal. My mom and dad tell me I have to pay my dues first. They say nothing comes easy. I have to put on some work. Frederick Douglass taught us that without struggle, there could be no progress. So what's that on me? What's next? Well, struggle, I guess, because right now it's volleyball and A's and B's. Later on, it's diploma and college degrees. You heard that right. I said degrees with an S. I also want my master as well. And look what it says on my chest. My lab coat reads Dr. Adriana Arias. At least that's what I see. I envision my goals and work hard to succeed. And if I don't the first time, I'll try till I make it. There may be some bending involved, but there will be no breaking. On the road of success, there will be plenty of bumps, drops, and scars. That will make the road rough. Measure. Not how I fall, but if I get up. So I'm walking tall, and I'm willing to bite, scratch, crawl, and fight. Well, fight, not literally. I'm a lady. But I'm trying to get my point across. You feel me? Giving up is not an option. And there can only be one outcome. And to succeed, every now and then, I have to sacrifice the good times. Bike rides, and a few parties too. But these are my goals and what I have to do. Now, you think about yours and ask yourself, what's stopping you?
Thank you.
Annabelle Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that there a maiden lived who you might know by the name of Annabelle Lee. And this maiden lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I, my Annabelle Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven had vaulted her in me. And this is the reason that long ago, in the kingdom by the sea, that a wind blew out of a cloud at night, chilling my beautiful Annabelle Lee, so that her highest-born kingman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sculpture in the kingdom by the sea. And the angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, this is the reason, as all men know in the kingdom by the sea, that a wind blew out of a cloud at night, chilling and killing my Annabelle Lee. But our love was far stronger than the love of those far older than we, of those far wiser than we. And so the angels up in heaven and the demons down under the sea could never separate my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And the stars never rise, but I see the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And so, by the all-sounding night tide, I lay down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, and her sculpture there by the sea, and her tomb
by the sounding sea.
Ruby Showed the Way by Carol Oakes. Ruby Bridges was only 6. People tried to hit her with sticks. Hateful words at her were thrown, hate to all with her skin tone. She went to school on her own. The kids all left, she was alone. She wants to learn everything in life, but she goes to school with strife. Ruby was brave and learned at school. With just one teacher, it was cool. Her teacher smiles, but Ruby sees her fear and uncertainty. Ruby does her best to stand tall and not let fear make her fall. Ignoring hate coming from the crowd, Ruby makes her country proud. In fear and ignorance, people stayed until Ruby showed the way. Be respectful and do it right, and then peace will be in sight.
Alaska, written by Joaquin Miller. Ice built, ice bounded, such cold seas of silence, such room, such no light, such sea light, confounded with thunder that smite like doom. Such grandeur, such glory, such gloom. Hear that boom, hear that deep distant boom of an avalanche hurtle down to this unfinished world. Ice seas and ice summits, ice spaces in splendor of white as God's throne. Ice worlds to the pole, and ice places, untracked, unnamed, and unknown. Hear that boom, the grinding, the groan of ice gods in pain. Hear the moan of young ice mountain hurtle down to this unfinished world.
Humanity by Angelina Jolie. I have never understood why some people are born with the chance I had to have this path in life, and why across the world there's a girl just like me, with the same abilities, the same desires, the same work ethic and love for her family. This girl will probably make better films and better speeches. Only this girl sits in a refugee camp, and she has no voice. She's always worried about what her children will eat, how to keep them safe, and if they'll ever be allowed home. I don't understand why this is my life and that's hers. I probably won't understand that. But I will do what my mother asks and do the best I can with this life to be of use. And to stand here today means that I did as she asked. And if she were alive, she'd be very proud. So thank you.
Life Doesn't Frighten Me by Maya Angelou. Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall, life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud, big ghosts in a cloud, life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old mother goose, lions on the loose, they don't frighten me at all. Dragons blowing flame on my counterpane, that doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoot. I make fun, way they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile, they go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys fight, all alone at night. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys all pull my hair, kissing little girls with their hair in curls, they don't frighten me at all. Don't show me frogs and snakes and listen for my scream. If I'm afraid at all, it's only in my dreams. I've got this magic charm that I keep up my sleeve. I can walk the ocean floor and never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all, not at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all.
Footprints in the Sand by Mary Season. One night a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky, vast scenes from his life. For each scene, he noticed 2 sets of footprints. One belonged to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back down at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path of his life, there was only 2 sets of footprints. And he also noticed that happened at the lowest and saddest time of his life. That really bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the time. But I noticed during the most troublesome times in my life, when I only see 1 set of footprints, I do not understand why when I need you most, you would lead me. The Lord replied, my son, my precious child, I love you, and I will never leave you. But during the times of trial and suffering, when you only see one set of footprints, it is then that I carry you.
Wings of Fire Dragon by 2 Sutherland. Let's welcome these dragonets. Who will be first or who will be next? First we welcome Clay, a mudwing dragonet. Even though he's a boy, he fights like a skywing in the Hex, defeating Fjord in the Talons of Peace. Being a mudwing in the prophecy? Blimey! Next up, Tsunami, a sea-wing lost girl, lurking in the sea with curls and curls and curls. Her skin is pale, she's blue around, but with her green scales she scratches pound pound. Ah, and then we have Glory, a rainwing you can tell. A friend of Clay's in her big ears with tiny bells. A rainwing that's red and green, so odd. But Glory has a friend that's a nightwing, Queen Scarlet's face jawed. And now there's Sunny, a sand-winged fighter. With Sunny's sharp gold tooth, she is really a biter. The yellow pearl gold and her big wings, the best friend of Tsunami and her silver things. And last is the powerful Starflight, the nightwing on fire. His best friend Sunny is a secret admirer. Starflight's nickname is the Black and Purple Dragon. She can carry Clay on his back without a wagon.
The Tables Turn by William Wordsworth. Up, up, my friend, and quit your books, or surely you'll grow double. Up, my friend, and clear your looks. Why all this toil and trouble? The sun above the mountain's head, a freshening luster mellow, through all the long green fields have sped his first sweet evening yellow. Books, this is an endless strife. Come here, the woodland linnet. How sweet his music, on my life. There's more of wisdom in it. And hark how bliss the thoughtful sings. He too is no mean creature. Come forth into the light of things. Let nature be your teacher. She has a world of ready wealth, our minds and hearts to bless. Spontaneous wisdom breathed by health, truth read by cheerfulness. One impulse from vernal wood may teach you more of man, of moral evil and of good than all the sages can. Sweet is the lore which nature brings, our meddling intellect, reshapes the forms of beautiful things we murder to dissect. Enough of science and of art, close up those barren leaves. Come forth and bring with you a heart that watches and receives.
Ruby Shoved Away by Carol Oates. Ruby Bridges was only 6. People tried to hit her with sticks. Hateful words at her thrown, ate to all with her skin tone. She went to school on her own. The kids all left, she was alone. She wants to learn everything in life, but she goes to school with strife. Ruby was brave and learned at school, with just one teacher who was cool. Her teacher smiles, but Ruby sees her fear and uncertainty. Ruby does her best to stand tall and not let fear make her fall. Ignoring hate from the crowd, Ruby makes her country proud. In fear and ignorance, people stayed until Ruby showed the way. Be respectful and do what's right, then peace will be in sight.
Do you know what it's like to be a woman? No, even better, a phenomenal woman? Hi, my name is Krishna. And I'm Lauren. And we will be reciting Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to sort of fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling, well, lies. Well, I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, and the curl of my lips. Because I am a woman. Phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to the men the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, the fire of my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, and the joy in my feet. Because I am a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves wonder what they see in me, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try and show them, they say they still don't see. So I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my chest, and the grace of my style. Because I am a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me.
Now you see why my head is not bowed down. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, you ought to be proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need for my care. Because we are women, phenomenally. Phenomenal women, that's us.
Thank you.
If I Were a Voice by Charles McKay. If I were a voice, a persuasive voice that could travel the wide world through, I'd fly on the beams of the morning light and speak to men with a gentle might and tell them to be true. I'd fly over the land and sea, wherever a human heart might be, telling a tale or singing a song in praise of the right and blame of the wrong. If I were a voice, a consoling voice, I'd fly on the wings of air. The homes of sorrow and guilt I'd seek, and calm and truthful words I'd speak, to save them from despair. I'd fly over the crowded town, and drop like the happy sunlight down into the hearts of suffering men, and teach them to rejoice again. If I were a voice,
A convincing voice.
I'd travel with the wind, and whenever I saw the nations torn by warfare, jealousy, or scorn, if I were a voice,
A convincing voice.
I'd travel with the wind, and whenever I saw the nations torn by warfare, jealousy, or scorn, or hatred of their kind,
I'd fly on the thunder crash and into the blinded blossoms flash.
and all their evil thoughts subdued, I'd teach them Christian brotherhood. If I were a voice, a pervading voice, I'd seek the kings of earth. I'd find them alone on their beds at night and whisper words that should guide them right, lessons of priceless worth. I'd fly more swift than the swiftest bird and tell them things they have never heard. Truths of the ages that I repeat, unknown to the statesmen at their feet. If I were a voice, an immortal voice, I'd speak in the people's ear, and whenever they shouted, "Liberty!" without deserving to be free, I'd make their error clear. I'd fly on the wings of day, rebuking wrong in my worldwide way, and making all the earth rejoice. If I were a voice, an immortal voice.
Thank you.
The Cookie Thief by Valerie Cox. A woman was waiting at an airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, ooh, brother, this guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She boarded the plane. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. Then she sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There were her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair. The others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief.
Thank you.
The Cookie Thief by Valerie Cox. A woman was waiting at the airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops,
bought a bag of cookies and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gusty cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. She sought in her book, which was almost complete. She reached in her baggage and gasped in surprise. There was a bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair, the others were his and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ignorant cookie thief.
Olympic Granny by Ken Nesbitt. When Grandma goes for gold in the Olympic game this year, she'll laugh at her competitors and make them quake with fear. She's 90 years old, but in athletics, she's been blessed. The trouble is, she can't decide which sport she plays the best. She's such an ace at archery, she's queen of the canoe. She's tough to top at taekwondo and table tennis too. She dominates the diving board, she trumps the trampoline. At lifting weights and wrestling, she's the best you've ever seen. She speeds across the swimming pool to slake the summer heat. On BMX and mountain bike, she simply can't be beat. She's highest in the high jump, a champ at hammer throwing. Magnificent in marathons, remarkable at rowing. She beats the best at boxing. At the pole vault, she is peerless. Her fencing is the finest. She is positively fearless. She's masterful at basketball. She truly rules the court, and equally incredible at every other sport. But what we find astonishing and something of a shocker is how she wins all contests with her wheelchair and her walker.
Thank you.
There was an old lady who swallowed a fly by Lucia Callegra. Poor old lady, she swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I think she'll die. Poor old lady, she swallowed a spider. It squirmed and wiggled and turned inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I think she'll die. Poor old lady, she swallowed a bird. How absurd, she swallowed a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I think she'll die. Poor old lady, she swallowed a cat. Think of that, she swallowed a cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I think she'll die. Poor old lady, she swallowed a dog. She went whole hog when she swallowed the dog. She swallowed the dog to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I think she'll die. Poor old lady, she swallowed a cow. I don't know how she swallowed a cow. She swallowed the cow to catch the dog. She swallowed the dog to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I think she'll die. Poor old lady, she swallowed a horse. She died, of course.
Snakes at School by Penna J. Langdon. It wasn't that we hated school, the creek just enticed us more. My mate and I hung out there, chased frogs, catch fish, explore. One day we built a fortress, moved rocks and tied some stakes. Then we saw a wonder sight, a ball of baby snakes. We should have pondered longer, but we thought our find so cool, we stuffed the snakes in our bags and took them back to school. Just as the school bell jangled, the halls began to fill. We flung the snakes along the floor, then screams rang loud and shrill. We expected just a ripple, a tiny bit of fun. Some girls might get a little fright, some may even run. Instead it was a tidal wave. Chairs and lockers tumbled. As kids and teachers panicked, our confidence soon crumbled. The hallway was a war zone, floors stewed with rubble. Though the baby snakes were harmless, we knew we were in trouble. Our tender ages saved us, we let we cross the line. We talked of court and consequence, and they preached a moral decline. But we learnt a worthy lesson, were left in some confusion. Our penalties for wagging school was to get a week's exclusion. Although we would repent and did receive a fright, others often broke the rules, their punishment seemed light. They swore and called the teachers' names, we saw them fight and smoke, but that day we learnt the greater sin was to play a practical joke.
Thank you.
The Cookie Thief by Valerie Cox. A woman was waiting at an airport one night, with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched on the cookies and watched the clock, as the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would have blackened his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh brother, this guy has some nerve and he's also rude. Why didn't he show any gratitude? She had never known when she had been so galled, and a sigh of relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the devious ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. She saw out her book, which was almost complete. She reached in her bag and gasped in surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she milked in distress, and the others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief.
The Life of a Pirate by author unknown. The life of a pirate ain't easy. You'll have to buy lots of supplies. A parrot for one of your shoulders and an eye patch for one of your eyes. Before you set sail for adventure, before you embark on your trip, you'll need to come up with the money to purchase a suitable ship. You'll need a new chest for all your treasure, a hat, a flag, and a plank. A compass, a spyglass, and a spyglass, which you might take a loan from the bank. Along with this other equipment, you'll need a new hook and a peg, and these are some of the priciest items. They'll cost you an arm and a leg.
A Seagull's Struggle by Chris Foley. So I've come to the conclusion that life is unfair. I'm not really sure if you've noticed, but I'm a seagull. Remember me? I'm the guy that steals your french fries when you drop your food in the parking lot. I think a lot of people assume that I have it easy. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You humans have just about every opportunity that life has to offer. But not for me. Nothing for Mr. Seagull other than flying around aimlessly and eating straight garbage.
underwater, like a fish. They seemed so happy swimming around, enjoying life, shouting insults at me. Not all fish are horrible, though. This one time, I was flying above a river, and I saw what I thought was a piece of food. So I swooped down to get it and caught it in my beak. As it turns out, it was actually a live salmon named Barry, so I put him back in the river. I didn't really want to kill a man on a Saturday afternoon, and once he stopped spouting nonsense in between screaming and hyperventilating, I told him about my whole swimming ordeal, and he agreed to help me learn to swim. I tried, but I should have known it wouldn't work. I had to face it. I'll never be able to swim. I just wasn't born for it, I guess. Some people tell me to just live with it. Move on, find happiness in what I already have. But how am I supposed to do that when the most interesting thing I do on a day-to-day basis is orchestrate French fry heights and fight crows over old sandwiches? Trust me, that sounds a lot more exciting than it is. I just don't get it. Everyone else seems to be happy with what's handed to them. Ecstatic, even. Why am I the only one who isn't satisfied?
Human Family by Maya Angelou. I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious, some thrive on comedy. Some declare their lives are lived, as true profundity, and others claim they really live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones can confuse, bemuse, delight. Brown, pink, beige, and purple, tan, blue, and white. I've sailed upon the 7 seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world, yet not one common man. I know 10,000 women, called Jane and Mary Jane, but I have not seen any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. We love and lose in China, we weep on England's moors, and laugh and moan in Jelena, and thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Finland, are born and die in Maine. In minor, we differ. In major, we are the same. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
Life Doesn't Frighten Me by Maya Angelou. Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud, big ghosts in a cloud. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old mother goose, lions on the loose. They don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing flame, on my counterpane. That doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoo. I make fun, way they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile, they go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys fight, all alone at night. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys all pull my hair, kissy little girls with their hair in curls. They don't frighten me at all. Don't show me frogs and snakes and listen for my scream. If I'm afraid, it's only in my dreams. I've got a magic charm that I keep up my sleeve. I can walk the ocean floor and never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all. Not at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all.
Good afternoon. My name is Nazreen Segura, and I'm a 5th grader in Miss Whitla's class. And today I'll be reciting my speech called Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise? Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and suns with certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my hotness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, because I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meetings of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. On my own ocean, weeping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of happiness. I rise, I rise, I will rise.
The Oak Tree by Johnny Ray Ryder Jr. A mighty wind blew night and day. It stole the oak tree's leaves away, then snapped its boughs and pulled its bark until the oak was tired and stark. But still the oak tree held its ground, while others fell all around. The weary wind gave up and spoke. How can you still be standing, oak? The oak tree said, I know that you can break each branch of mine in two, carry every leaf of mine away, shake my limbs and make me sway. But I have roots stretched in the earth, growing stronger since my birth. You will never touch them, for you see, they are the deepest part of me. Until today, I wasn't sure of just how much I could endure. Now I've found, with thanks to you, I am stronger than I ever knew.
Tales of Custer the Dragon by Owen Nash. Belda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and a really old, truly old little pet dragon. Now, the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little gray mouse she called him Ink. The little yellow dog was as sharp as a mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, and spikes on top and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and really old, truly old daggers on his toes. Belda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as tiger in rage, but Custard cried for a knife-safe cage. Belda tickled him, she tickled him unmercifully, and Ink, Blink, and Mustard really called him Percival. They all sat in the little red wagon, laughing at the really old, truly old, cowardly dragon. Belda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said Ink, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard only asked for his age, when Custard cried for a knife-safe cage. Suddenly, they all heard a nasty sound, and up growled Mustard as they all turned around. Meouch, cried Ink, and ooh, cried Belda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that this pirate meant no good. Belda paled and she cried, help, help, but Mustard fled with a terrifying yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink strategically mouseholed. But up jumped up Custard, snorting like an engine, and clashing his tails like iron to a dungeon. With a clatter and a clang and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. The pirate gaped at Belda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled up every bit. Belda embraced him, Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink and glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard, saying he would be twice as brave if he hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink, and up spoke Blink, we'd be 3 times as brave, we think. And Mustard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Belda still lives in her little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and a really old, truly old little pet dragon. Belda is as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink just lions down the stairs. Muscle is as brave as a tiger in rage, but Custer keeps crying for a nice, safe cage.
Thank you.
My Mom and Dad by Bill Watterson. My mom and dad are not what they seem. Their dull appearance, it's part of their scheme. I know of their plans. I know their techniques. My parents are outer space alien freaks. They landed on Earth in spaceships humongous. Posing as grown-ups, they now walk among us. My parents deny this, but I know the truth. They're here to enslave me and spoil my youth. Early each morning, as the sun rises, they put on their earthling disguises. I knew right away, their masks weren't legit. Their faces are lined. They sag and don't fit. The Earth's gravity makes them sluggish and slow. They say not to run wherever I go. They live by the clock. They're slaves to routines. They work the year round. They're almost machines. They deny that TV and fried food have much worth. They cannot be human. They're not of this earth. I cannot escape their alien gaze. They're warping my mind with their alien ways. For sinister plots, this one is a gem. They're bringing me up to turn me into one of them. And speaking of aliens, the aliens came by Bill Watterson. The aliens came from a far distant world in a large yellow ship that blinked as it twirled. It rounded the moon and entered our sky. We knew they had come, but we didn't know why. Bright the next morning, with noisy commotion, the ship slowly moved out over our ocean. It lowered a tube and drained the whole sea for transport back home to their galaxy. The tube then sucked up the clouds in the air, causing no small amount of earthling despair. With nothing to breathe, we started to die. Help us, please stop, became the public outcry. Then a hatch opened up, and the aliens said, "We are sorry to learn that you will soon be dead. But though you may find this slightly macabre, we prefer your extinction to the loss of our job."
Anxiousness by Gianna Samano and the Bible. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Matthew chapter 6, verses 25. Therefore, I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you'll eat or what you'll drink, nor about your body or what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Proverbs chapter 12, verses 25. An anxious heart weighs a man down, but a kind word cheers him up. This proverb reminds us that words have the power to hurt or to heal. Always remember, if it's big enough to worry about, it's always big enough to pray about. God gave his strongest battles to his strongest soldiers.
Strive by Mason Souza. Strive. Strive to be better. Strive to be better than the little white letter. Strive. Strive to be more. Strive to be more than you were the day before. Strive. Strive to exceed. Strive to exceed your wildest dreams. Strive. Strive to be known. Strive to be known to the most dangerous unknowns. Strive. Strive to be better. Strive to be better than the little white letter. Strive. Strive to be more. Strive to be more than you were the day before. Do you really wish to live your life without challenge or without depth? Do you really wish to only scavenge and to fret? Do you only expect things you know you can achieve? Do you only do things that come to you with ease? Or do you strive for what's ahead of you, knowing it will bring you what you pursue? And do you dive into what you can't see, knowing deep inside it will reward you with glee? Strive. Strive to simply try. Strive to simply try at what is keeping you behind. Strive. Strive to reach success. Strive to reach success where before you had made no progress. Strive. Strive to be better. Strive to be better than the little white letter. Strive. Strive to be more. Strive to be more than you were the day before. Strive. Strive to overcome. Strive to overcome tasks you previously thought would never get done. Strive. Strive for greatness. Strive for greatness and no longer be anxious. Get up. Show the world around you whom not to touch. Show the world around you whom does a little much. Show them you can be greater than they. Show the world you could stop the fray with a voice and a will that could stun the day. Strive. Strive for what's right. Strive for what's right in the face of blight. Strive. Strive for release. Strive for release and the decease of unease. Strive, 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 strive.
I Have Three Sisters by Josephine Holcraft. I have a sister that loves doing art, and honestly, I think she's super smart. She has a masterpiece called Digital Addiction, and now that art piece is going to be written. Now, although she went ahead and did something new, now people are asking for work that is due. Okay, I guess she didn't always finish their art request, but I know she did try her best. She can paint, she can sketch, she could do so much more as like open an art gallery. Now, I guess I'm going over the top, but she can make a career that will never be stopped. I love that I could watch her grow in her happiness and her art, because now that my dear sister Elizabeth is almost 16, she can make creations from the heart. Now that I've mentioned my love for her, there are two other people I would love to mention, for they are the people in my selection. Angela is another sibling that is so fitting. She is now 20 and super fair, for she works 2 jobs and runs around everywhere. I see her work with what she's got, which is annoying customers, and there is a lot. Although she comes home with a tired pout, we love the times when we hang out. I love the smile on her face when she's around her boyfriend, and the ray of sunshine she brings when we're playing games. But she wants more. She wants to own a business that would someday soar. But she does love her family much more. Now I have to tell about my sister Bernadette, who is such a rush. For she goes to college in LA. So she goes to college in LA, so she meets a lot of celebrities every day. She's always running around with her friends, but I just can't wait to see her again. I love her so much, and I love the pictures I see of her whenever she's gone with her beautiful blush, because I just love her so very much. Now all I have to say is that I wish I was with my sisters every minute of every day.
On the Pulse of Morning by Maya Angelou. A rock, a river, a tree. Hostess Species, long since departed. Mark the mastiff, the dinosaur who left dry tokens of their sojourn here, on our planet floor. Any broad alarm of their hasting doom is lost in the gloom of dust and ages. But today, the rock cries out to us, clearly, forcefully. Come, you may stand upon my back and face your distant destiny, but seek no heaven in my shadows. I'll give you no hiding place down here. You, created only a little lower than the angels that have crouched too long in the bruising darkness, have lain too long face down in ignorance, your mouth spilling words armed for slaughter. The rock cries out to us today, "Come, you may stand upon me, but do not hide your face." Across the wall of the world, a river sings a beautiful song. It says, "Come, rest here by my side. Each of you, a country delicate and strangely made proud, yet thrusting perpetually under siege. Your armed struggles for profit have left collars of waste upon my shore, currents of debris upon my breasts. Yet today I call you to my riverside. If you study war no more, come, clad in peace, and I'll sing you the songs the Creator gave to me when I, the rock, and the tree were one. Before cynicism was a bloody sear across my brow, you yet knew you still knew nothing. The river sings and sings on. There's a true yearning to respond to the singing river and the wise rock. So they say, the Asian, the Hispanic, the Jew, the African, the Native American, the Sioux, the Catholic, the Muslim, the French, the Greek, the Irish, the Rabi, the priest, the sheik, the homeless, the privileged, the teacher, they all hear the speaking of the tree. They hear the beginning and end of every tree. Speak to humankind today. Come, plant yourself beside the river. Each of you, a descendant of some passed on traveler, has been paid for. You, who gave me my first name. You, the Pawnee, the Apache, the Seneca. You, the Cherokee Nation, who rested beside me, then forced on bloody feet, left me to the employment of other seekers, desperate for gain, starving for gold. You, the Turk, the Arab, the Swede, the German, the Eskimo, the Scot. You, the Ashanti, the Yoruba, the Crew. Bought, sold, stolen, arriving on a nightmare, praying for a dream. Plant yourself beside me. I am the tree planted beside the river and shall not be moved. I, the rock, I, the river, I, the tree. On the pulse of this new day, you may have the grace to look up and out into your sister's eyes, into your brother's face, and say, with grace, simply, very simply, good morning.
The Miracle of Morning by Amanda Gorman. I thought I'd awaken to a world in mourning, heavy clouds crowding, a society storming. But there's something different on this golden morning, something magical in the sunlight, wide and warming. I see a dad with a stroller, taking a jog. Across the street, a bright-eyed girl chases her dog. A grandma on a porch fingers her rosaries. She grins as her young neighbor brings her groceries. While we might feel small, separate, and all alone, our people have never been more closely tethered. The question isn't if we will weather this unknown, but how we will weather this unknown together. So on this meaningful morn, we mourn and we mend. Like light we can't be broken, even when we bend. As one we will defeat both despair and disease. We stand with healthcare heroes and all employees. With families, libraries, schools, waiters, artists, businesses, restaurants, and hospitals hit hardest. We ignite, not in the light, but in lack thereof. For it is in loss that we truly learn to love. In this chaos, we will discover clarity. In suffering, we must find solidarity. For it is our grief that gives us our gratitude, shows us how to find hope if we ever lose it. So ensure that this ache was endured in vain. Do not ignore the pain. Give it purpose. Use it. Read children's books. Dance alone to DJ music. Know that this distance will make our hearts grow fonder. From a wave of woes, our world will emerge stronger. We'll observe how the burdens, brave by humankind, are also the moments that make us humans kind. Let every dawn find us courageous, brought closer, heeding the light before the fight is over. When this ends, we'll smile sweetly, finally seeing. In testing times, we became the best of beings.
Human family. by Maya Angelou. I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some are serious, and others thrive on comedy. Some people, they declare their lives lived as true profundity, and others, well, they claim they live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones, it can confuse, bemuse, delight. Brown, pink and purple, beige, tan, blue and white. I've sailed upon the 7 seas, and I have stopped in every single land. I've seen the wonders of the world, yet not one common man. I know 10,000 women named Jane, Mary Jane, yet I haven't met 2 who were truly the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, but lovers, they think quite different thoughts while laying side by side. We love and lose in China, we weep on England's moors, we laugh and moan in Guinea, and we thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Finland, and we born and die in Maine. In minor, we're different. In major, we're all the same. I know the obvious differences in each short and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Penelope Purnell, and I will be reciting Chorus of the Captains by Amanda Gorman. Today we honor our 3 captains for the actions and impact they take in a time of uncertainty and need. They've taken lead, exceeding all expectations and limitations, uplifting communities as leaders, healers, and educators. James felt the wounds of warfare, but this warrior still shares his home with at-risk kids. During COVID, he's even lent a hand live streaming football for family and friends. Tremaine is an educator who works non-stop, providing his community with hotspots, laptops, and tech workshops, so his students have everything they need to succeed in life and in school. Susie is the ICU nurse manager at a Tampa hospital. Her chronicles prove that even in tragedy, hope is possible. She lost her grandmothers to the pandemic and fights to save other lives in the ICU battle zone, defining the frontline heroes risking their lives for our own. Let us walk with these warriors, charge on with these champions, and carry forth the call of our captains. We honor them by acting with courage and compassion and doing rights for unjust. For a while we honor them, but today they every day honor us. Thank you.
Footprints in the Sand by Mary Stevenson. One night, a man had a dream. He dreamed that he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene he noticed 2 sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand, and he noticed many times along the path of his life, there was only 1 set of footprints in the sand. And that happened at the very lowest and saddest times in his life. This really bothered him, so he questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decide to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I've noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there is only 1 set of footprints in the sand. I don't understand. Why? When I needed you the most, you'd leave me. The Lord replied, my son, my precious child, I love you, and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only 1 set of footprints in the sand, it was then that I carried you.
Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many years ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived, whom we only know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabelle Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, that a wind blew out of a cloud chilling my beautiful Annabelle Lee, so that her high-born kingsmen came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. But our love was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And so, all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea.
Human Rights are Women's Rights by Hillary Clinton. Those of us who have the opportunity to be here today have the responsibility to speak for those who cannot. As an American, I want to speak for the women of my own country. Women raising children on minimum wages. Women who cannot afford health care or child care. Women who are threatened by violence each and every day, including violence in their own homes. I want to speak for women who are fighting for good schools, safe neighborhoods, clean air, and clean airwaves. For older women, some of them widows, who find that after raising their families, their skills and life experiences are not valued in the marketplace. For women who work all night as nurses, hotel clerks, and fast food chefs, to be home during the day to raise their children. As I speak here today, I speak for them, as everyone speaks for women around the country who are denied the chance to go to school, own a property, or have a say about the direction of their lives. The truth is that women work all day and night, usually by necessity. We must understand that there is no formula for how women lead our lives. But women will never have full dignity before their human rights are respected and protected.
Hello, my name is Lexi Amon, and today I will be reciting a poem about self-respect and confidence called Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may tread me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still, I'll rise. Do you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you.